Thomas Mengesha, he will fight for your rights.
Greetings and salutations. I am Captain Tom Mengesha, United States Army retired, and the former adjutant for Base Support Battalion North out of Camp Deering, Kuwait. Folks, I want to talk to you all today about a very serious topic. In the news, there's been a lot of talk about classification of documents, security clearance. You've had private or a lower ranking airman releasing classified information over the internet. We have a current former president being indicted on various charges. What I'd like to do now is kind of give you some views and some reaction and some ideals and thoughts on why it's important to safeguard classified information. But before we begin, what I want to do for those of y'all who have not subscribed to my channel and would like to know more about what I do, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I served over 25 years in the military, practiced law for over 13 years, was a college professor, worked for the federal government, and I myself also had a security clearance. In fact, I've held a top secret security clearance, as well as some other special access that I don't need to get into right now. But what we're going to do first of all is we're going to watch this news clip and then we're going to talk about it on the other side.
Breaking news, Donald Trump becoming the first former president in history to face federal charges. CBS News confirming tonight he has been indicted for allegedly mishandling hundreds of classified documents. Good evening, I'm Maurice Dubois.
And I'm Christine Johnson. This is now the second time the former president will now have to surrender to criminal charges.
Tonight, Trump is spending the evening in New Jersey. These are live pictures outside his Bedminster golf club, but he will soon have to head to Miami to turn himself in. CBS 2's Dick Brennan live in our newsroom now with the details. Dick.
Well, Maurice and Christine, this is a far more consequential indictment than the one announced in March by the Manhattan DA. This concerns the nation's secrets. A conviction on any one count could land the former president in prison. Sources tell CBS News the 7-count indictment focuses on Trump's alleged mishandling of classified documents, more than 300, including 60 marked top secret, found at his Mar-a-Lago resort. The charges include conspiracy, the unlawful possession of government records, and obstruction of justice. Trump's attorneys spoke about the various counts tonight.
They basically break out from an Espionage Act charge, which is ludicrous under the facts of this case, and I can certainly explain it, and several obstruction-based type charges, and then false statement charges.
Special counsel Jack Smith has been investigating the case with grand juries in Miami and Washington.
The Department of Justice, through this special counsel, is going to argue that he was obstructing the investigation into those records, into the retrieval of those records, which hit a breaking point August 8, 2022, when federal agents executed a search warrant in Mar-a-Lago to retrieve those records.
Trump admitted to taking documents to Mar-a-Lago, but has denied any wrongdoing. Tonight, he released a statement on video with a familiar refrain.
It's a hoax. The whole thing is a hoax. I'm an innocent man. I did nothing wrong. And we'll fight this out just like we've been fighting for 7 years.
The former president himself was the one to break the news of the indictment.
Any of his lawyers must just be beside themselves at this point. There is a client control issue, to say the least. All of this is so that he can frame the narrative. We can hear it from him first.
This is the second indictment Trump is facing. He's charged in New York with falsifying business records, and both cases will unfold as Trump once again runs for president with many announced opponents.
It does give all other candidates in the primary a club to beat this president up with. The question is whether that will make any dent in people who still want to see a Donald Trump-like figure, and why go for anybody else if we could have the real McCoy running against Joe Biden in the general election come fall.
Now, President Biden is also being investigated over the possible mishandling of classified documents. For his part, Donald Trump says he will appear in a federal court in Miami on Tuesday. Christine.
Thank you, Dick, and do stay with CBS 2 as we continue to cover this breaking story.
So, as you can see, former President Donald Trump has been indicted for, among other things, in a mishandling of classified documents. Now, why is this significant? Putting aside the former president, putting aside politics, putting aside all of those things, there's a reason why documents and material and information is classified, particularly at the higher levels, secret, top secret, and special compartmental access, higher levels of top secret. The reason being is because if the adversary or even non-adversaries get this information, they can certainly use it against us, the nation, the United States, and also the people that we use sources and methods to obtain this information, which in turn means that people's lives are at stake. So it's very important for any service member out there who has access to classified information. Remember your training. Remember the laws surrounding what you can and cannot say and relate about the classified information that you've come in contact with. Because I can tell you that facing the criminal justice system is certainly not a fun thing, and certainly if you're being charged under certain provisions of the Espionage Act. So what I would encourage all of you all to do is read and study upon the laws dealing with handling of classified information. You also know that certain information is assigned certain values and certain levels of classified. First of all, there's confidential information, and this is any information that is preserved as confidential by all parties, included affected by that information. Now, sometimes the term confidential information and classified information are used interchangeably, but you should know that there are certain levels to this. Then there's classified information, which is sensitive information that's a cross of which is restricted either by law or regulation. And we have restricted information, which represents all information that is available to most of the employees, but not to all. Now, internal information is information that only employees have access to. And again, this is related to in a governmental context. And then public information is exactly just that, public information that is available to all, that certainly needs to be put out into the public. Well, if you have any ideas and suggestions on how to handle classified information, go ahead and leave a comment down below, or feel free to email me at asktheadjutant@gmail.com, and feel free to share this video across the world to anyone who may have access to classified information and may have questions on how to handle it. Well, I hope that answers your questions dealing with classified information. And if you have any other information or questions, go ahead and leave a comment down below if you feel that that information can be helpful. And feel free to share this video around the world, and hopefully it is helpful to others. So, with that, I wish you all blessings and blessings. Shalom.
Call on, call on, call on. Thomas Mengesha. He will fight for your rights.